Greetings. A Reiki practitioner asked if the stuff we do as practitioners, our particular dog and pony show, is only to let the patient know that they can heal themselves, and you answered yes. I have focused a lot of time and energy to learn, for example, how to safely remove toxic level of mercury from a patient so that the person's thyroid can recover its ability to produce thyroxine again, or the stomach can recover its ability to produce adequate hydrochloric acid again. Have I misplaced my holistic healing focus? Would I bring more cost benefits to my patients to only provide them joy-based psychotherapy in the Abraham tradition?
Well, if every patient were in the same place and every patient were ready to be receptive to this, then we would say you would be better to put your attention there. But you too are a bridge builder, you see. And so when you have a patient before you that is not thriving and does not understand why and wants to, what you have is a situation where what they have been living has caused a focused desire within them, a desire that they are currently nowhere near vibrational harmony. So as you offer your particular brand of dog and pony show, as you are quoting from previous questioner, what happens is sometimes by the offering of that action, you put them in a place of greater willingness to be receptive or greater vibrational receptivity to the desire that they already have achieved. The only thing that we would add as a teacher, as you are, is after they have come back into alignment, we would then, if they are still willing to play with us, we would give them a little clearer version of our true dog and pony show. And we would say to them, while this action caused you to soften your resistance and allow the well-being that would have been there otherwise anyway, and now here is what I'm really believing about all of that. The reason that action sometimes can be beneficial is because most people hold the idea that they want to be well. No one would create illness deliberately. And so they want to be well, and the fact that they are not makes them believe that there must be something apart from them that is causing it. And so it's a very easy thing to believe that something has been asserted into my experience that is messing me up. When you say, how does the water come? And someone says, well, you take the glass and you turn this knob and water comes. And we say, there is truth in that, but there's a lot more to the story. And someone else will say, well, I know the greater story. There are pipes in this house. And you say, well, there is truth to that, but there is much more to the story of that, too. So the same thing is with anything that you are offering. We are not for a moment suggesting that the activity that you are choosing may not be causing the allowance of the well-being, but we promise you it is always and only about that. You see, all of the organs, you know this, the organs of the body, the components of the body, they all know what to do to maintain the balance. And if they were not being denied access, so to speak, or if they were not being hindered by an accumulation of a vibration that sort of hinders the flow between what the cells are asking for and what the universe is answering, then wellness would exist in every experience. But when you say to a person, you need to adjust your vibration in order to be well, and they have never in their life even thought about vibration. They don't even know they're vibrating. It was going to take some time to help them to understand that their emotions are their vibrational indicators. Then sometimes by offering a more deliberate action, it causes them to do the same thing. It's like sneaking in the back door. It causes them to offer less resistance that then allows the cells to continue to ask and the non-physical energy continue to answer, and they come back into balance. That is the reason, and we know that you know about this, that as you gather your statistics, one thing that is consistently acknowledged is that it doesn't seem to matter what the type of medicine is that is administered. The common denominator that seems to matter is that the one receiving it believes that it is the best. You see, and so that's why we are not disrespectful at all when we are quoting the words of another who uses the words dog and pony show. In other words, we say whatever it takes to assist someone in allowing what they really want to happen. But the reason that it is very hard to gather statistics about that is because you are very different beings. In other words, it's a very different mix of desires and resistance that you hold. That's why most effective counselors or doctors are those who are sensitive to vibration, who are able to adjust their dog and pony show. And law of attraction helps too. In other words, when you decide that something is the right way to go, and you get focused upon it, and you set up your clinic so that you are a facilitator of that, law of attraction brings to you those people who are most likely to receive wellness through that process, you see. Yes.
Well, that's the reason for my question. Why not simply provide joy-based psychotherapy?
Because everyone's not ready to hear it. We just love it when we gather together with a room full of terminally ill people, because they are now in a place of being ready to learn the only thing that ever worked anyway. But there's something about needing it to be the last-ditch effort. There's something about they almost have to be told that all other things that you might try in terms of action have now been tried and failed. And it usually sometimes takes that place of understanding before someone is ready to adjust vibration. In other words, adjusting vibration is not something that you've been talking about very long. Even though it is the basis of the universe, it is something that has been forgotten.
Agree. You have also stated that multiple deadly diseases in the same person could be resolved immediately if resistance is released and well-being is allowed to flow.
Certainly.
Then would a freestanding clearinghouse for such documentation be called for at this time?
Any evidence that speaks to well-being is of value. We just don't want to get too sidetracked in the gathering of evidence. In other words, because there can be a sidetracking factor in it. In other words, as long as you maintain your stability of understanding it's about energy, and you offer any statistic with one intention in mind, and that is to soothe the resistance. Because as soon as you decide that you're going to find proof about something, proof sort of smacks of the idea that it is always so, then there will be some renegade that is vibrationally different that will not allow it to be so, and then that's what makes the headlines, and then there's a backlash about all of it, you see.
I agree.
But when you have received information and you have chewed on it intellectually, and then you have an experiential happening that matches the thing that you've heard about, little by little by little, it becomes your full knowing. And while it is your knowing before you are born, it is nice to reclaim it once you've had an opportunity to chew on the contrast. Some say to us, well, we think the contrast stinks. We think we were connected to source energy, we were tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and then we came forth into an environment. How is it that we get so lost? And we say, you never intended to be lost, but you did intend the variety of the new contrast because you knew it would give birth to the new desire. And that really is the message of this gathering that we are most wanting to impart, is that if you could feel the exhilaration of the new desire within you and understand that that is life itself, and no longer beat up on yourself. In other words, so you have illnesses in your body, and those illnesses cause you to desire wellness. If you could understand the power of that desire, you could forget the illness, and then wellness would have to be your experience. But as you believe that you have to justify this desire by explaining how irritated and tired you are of the illnesses, then you hold yourself as a vibrational match to where you are instead of to the new desire. And so the words that are beginning to come and the emphasis that we are beginning to place is, you cannot ever get it done because there will always be something new to produce a new desire. And you can never get it wrong because no matter where you stand, the new contrast produces the new desire, and that's what it's all about anyway. And so why not relax and begin enjoying the process? When we say to you, you are eternal beings, we are really meaning that. You are eternal. Do you get what that means? There must be way more out there than there could ever be back there if I am an eternal being. And when you get it that you are an eternal being, then you sort of want to just lighten up. There's no race to run. There's nothing broken that needs to be fixed. In other words, you're eternal beings getting new ideas from this wonderful variety that is within you. And when the idea is there, turn to it and find vibrational harmony with it and watch universal forces assisting you and continue your eternal living happily ever after. Yes, the art of living happily ever after.
Thank you for being.
Indeed. Have fun with it. There is great love here for you. We are complete.